Hello again. So we're going to go back. I just started back on. This is Hot Topics with Donna. My name is Donna Taylor. So I am going to invite my guest on and see if we can get her on and get started. So I just sent her an invite. So, yes, so I am completing my Mother's Day special as I stated before earlier. So I'm just waiting for my guests to come on. And like I said, hot, if this is your first time on here, stands for honest, open, and transparent. We have had some amazing guests on here, from preachers to entertainers to fashion models. And then I had my own mother on here, and so we're still doing the Mother's Day special. So this guest that I have on today, she is a mother, and she's also close to me. And so as soon as we get on, then you can, I have some questions for her, and you can find out about her as well. Hey Sharon, thank you for joining. So I'm just waiting for her to accept the invite. When she comes on, if you Franny, if you want to try to send me a friend, try to send me an invite and say you want to join my video. You want to join me live. So, okay, hold on. All right, see, we should be rolling now. It's adding you. Hey.
Hi. I had to use my phone.
Yeah, I haven't used my computer. I just use my phone. Yeah. Okay. So you thought you was gonna get out of this interview, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Okay. So guys, thank you for watching. Hey Lynetta. So today on Hot Topics, I have my daughter-in-law. Her birth name is Barbara, but I call her Franny. That's what we call her. And so I'm just going to give you some of her titles. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's a sister, she's a daughter-in-law, and she's a sister-in-law. And that's just, some titles, but most of all, we're talking about being a mother. And that's what she is. And so I'm going to let her introduce herself, and she can tell you just a little bit about who she is before we get into the questions. And we're going to be talking about motherhood from the beginning up until now. And so I have my handy dandy questions.
Oh man.
So go ahead.
Okay, so
She said, Donna, she knows you persistent and we'll make sure the show is. You're right, Lynette. So tell people who you are.
okay, hi, thank you so much for having me. My name is Barbara, but I do go by Franny for most of my family. Um, I have 3 children, and most people know that I was a teen mother. So I got pregnant at 15, and I've been with my husband for 15 years, married 12 years this July. We have 3 beautiful children, all boys, unfortunately. I'm the only woman, but what else? I have my master's in social work. I am studying now to get my license. Hopefully next month I will pass my exam.
You know.
What else? My life consists of studying and running after 3 wild boys.
Okay. So, hey, Cleveland, thank you for joining. Thank you guys for joining Hot Topics with Donna. So, you don't watch my show, so I do my homework. And, I don't really have to do a lot of homework because I just know you. I did go through your page and I looked through all your stuff. And on one thing, when you was going to school, you put through all the struggles of being a teen mom, you made it. And that was the best day of your life. So why did you put that for your, I consider it a quote, a personal quote.
Well, I think growing up, nobody ever expected me to get as far as I am today. And then becoming pregnant at 15, I was always told I ruined my life, that I was never going to go to college, but to me that was the start of a new life for me. it was,
Right.
and it was the reason that I pushed myself harder. And I just feel like a lot of people think it was a downfall, but to me, it was the best, the best start of a new life for me. And I knew
Okay.
that I was just going to give my kids a better future.
Right. So the first question I had, because Zamir, you had him at 15, and he came into our life when he was like 6, 7 months or whatever. So he is my grandson because I've been with him all his life.
Right.
But my question was, what were some of the challenges for you being a young parent? When you first, got pregnant, and like, what was the challenges for you?
Well, the biggest challenge was support, having support and people that, had my side and was going to be there no matter what. I chose to give birth, and, not everybody supported that because I was so
Right.
young. I was already down I wouldn't say a bad path, but like, I was already down a destructive cycle, I guess you want to call it.
Right.
So I think it was the biggest thing was having support and, and being clueless. I was a child myself, and I didn't know the way I didn't know the way for myself, let alone to take care of a child.
Right. So was any of your friends back then, were they teen moms, or the circle that you ran, was there any other teen moms that were, pregnant or had gotten pregnant during the time that you was pregnant?
Actually, my best friend at the time, we stopped talking for a little bit, and then when we started talking again, we were both going to each other to tell each other we were pregnant. So it was crazy. We were pregnant at the same time. So yeah, my best friend was.
So how did you cope with the challenges after you gave birth? How did you handle that once he was physically here? How did you handle being young, and were you still in school?
I mean, Zamir's born 4th of July, so I had him the summer after my 10th grade year. So I had a
Mm-hmm.
break, but how did I handle it? I mean, it was hard. I honestly don't even know how I got through it, but I believe because, I had such a mindset that I wasn't going to fail. I was going to be
Right.
a leader, and I was going to do anything I could, to give my son a better life, which is pretty much how we met, because I moved away
Right.
from my hometown, and um, I decided I was going to get away and try to start a new life for me and my son.
Right. And he was truly a blessing for us. And I truly had him spoiled because he was
Yeah,
just with us, because you went to school, and Tony went to school. And so it was just him and I till y'all got home. And
right.
so, for me, even though I have AJ, which is my first biological firstborn, but for me, Zamir was my first grandchild, you know.
Right.
So I know who you, I'm trying to just do this like just because I know you, and so but I want people to know you, so I'm trying to ask these questions in a way that you can answer them.
Okay.
So you already said that you have a determination, and that's one thing that I do know about you. I know that once you put your mind to it, it's hell or high water, you're just going to get it done. You're just going to make it happen.
Right.
But what was your goals before you even, found out you was pregnant? Because I know a lot of times we set goals for ourselves, like I want to do this, I want to do that. But what was your goals before you got pregnant?
So before I got pregnant, I actually wanted to be a lawyer. I was always smart, and I was always like a good student. I just
Mm-hmm.
always had like I was very angry as a child. I've been through a lot of trauma, and
Right.
I knew that college was my way out. So like in my circle, it's crazy because like the circle of friends that I did have, me and of course my best friend at the time, but my son's father, we're really the only ones that got out of the town that we were in, because we were the
Right.
smart, really. So my goals were to, of course, go to college, and I wanted to be a lawyer. Um, but of course that changed because law school is a lot longer than I thought. And 15-year old, I don't know, or 15, if at 15 years old, I knew that was not possible for me.
So how was, I mean, but so what did you do? What was your outlet when you became stressed, when you became frustrated, like, being young, now you got this newborn. And so what was your stress level like and how did you cope being a young mom? Because, we, people are going to see this, and some kids are facing being a young parent, and and that's why I wanted you on here too. And then I'm going to have my niece, because sometimes being a young parent, you have to decide, what am I going to do? So for you, when you got stressed, what did you do? How did you cope being so young, when if he was a fussy baby and you knew you had to do this, but you got to make sure he's okay? So what was your coping mechanism to just get through one day?
I cried a lot. Um, yeah, I mean, I cried a lot and I talked. I mean, Tony, like Tony and I actually met when I was 2 months pregnant. So I met you, of course, after Zamir was born. We talked a lot, and that was, I mean, he got me through a lot of times, and it was crazy because I don't know if you remember, but Missy actually thought that Tony was Zamir's father. Like, when I was pregnant,
Right.
he had family believing that the baby was his.
Yeah.
So it was just a funny story, but like Tony got me through a lot. And then, it's mainly my friends, just being able to talk to people. And I mean, I cried a lot. Of course I would Google stuff because, I didn't know. And it's just, I mean, growing up, I always took care of other people's kids, like stuff. So I knew how to take care of kids. But like, the hard nights where like they're crying and they're not, they don't stop. Like what's wrong? But my first, I would just take them to the hospital just because I would rather be safe. But I mean, I cried a lot and I talked a lot to, my friends, and my sisters whenever I needed to.
So was your mom, so how did she feel when she found out you was pregnant?
Well, I didn't live with my mother, so I think she was more surprised when she did find out, but I didn't live with her, so it was I mean, I know she was surprised because like they all always thought like I was going to be the one to, get married, do it the right way, God's way. Because like even as a child, and even my mother's family, like they're not Christian based at all, but I would like it was like Awana, so I would get picked up by a church van and I would go to church all the time, like kids groups and stuff. So they always thought that I was the one that was gonna do it the right way, the God's way.
Right. So then after Zamir, then came my little AJ. So now you got a 6-month-old. Now you're pregnant again. So how is that stressful in itself?
Well, they were Zamir was about a year and a half, because they're 2.5 years apart. So that was even worse. Well, not only that, it was also my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
So that was really stressful, and just trying to build a relationship with you and then my mother as well, and all the other female like females in my life that I was trying to build a relationship with. I just felt like I had too much on my plate. So I don't even know if you know this story, but I was actually heading for adoption.
Right.
Tony wasn't okay with that. But in my head, I just didn't think I could do both by myself. And, Tony wanted to go to school and play basketball. And I was all supporting that. And I didn't want to hold him back. So I was like, you know what? Like, you go do you. I will wait for you. Go play ball. Whatever you want to do. I'll take care of this. I'll do what I need to do on the side. But he didn't want that. So I was like, well, he doesn't want that. Then like, there's no point. If he wants to be supportive, he's going to be there. Then I'm not going to do this.
Right. And, and I know, like, well, our friends know, our family know, like you and I, like we started off on good terms, and then at some point it got twisted. But the thing that, with you and I, we're so much alike, but so different, because you're headstrong, I'm headstrong. And, and during that time, we just really, bumped heads, and because I wasn't even your mother-in-law then, but, you was living with us, but still, you know, we had a discord, and then I always put Tony in the middle. But,
Right.
you know, what I am going to say is that I am so glad now that you and I are at a different place, you know. And when AJ came, you know, I wasn't there for his birth because we had a disagreement, we had discord. And so, you know, that's over and done with because he's here now. But
Right.
I'm telling you, he was my baby. He became my second baby, you know. And so you have you raised Zamir, and then here come AJ, still going through. You know, now you have two. Now you're married.
Mm.
You know, now you're married, and you still trying to find your way, but yet and still, you always been a mother to your children. You know, despite of what you and my son went through, you always made sure they were first at
Right.
all costs. You know, and that's what I respect about you because you were still young. You were still trying to find your way, but yet and still, because of your
I'm
determination,
still
you
trying.
still did it. You
I'm
still did.
31.
But you know what? We all try, you know, and even me, I'm 53 and I still try because sometimes I feel like I fail my kids, but you know, we just do the best we know how. And you know what? Then when you see them doing awesome things, then it's like, okay, I didn't do too bad.
Right.
And now you have my little Malachi.
Oh God.
And Malachi's spirit is so different. He's like a little man. He
Yes.
is like a little man. And,
Hmm.
you know, I get to see all three of them in different lights. And Malachi is the one, he's kind of chill. He watched, but he's chill. And when I got to have him here, you know, when him and Tony came, it was just good to know like he really enjoyed being here because I don't get to see them that much.
Right. Hmm.
I really don't. And, you know, I'm so thankful that, you know, despite the disagreements that you and Tony may have, you all still put them first. And you especially put them first
Right.
because you want to be the best mother you can.
You're right.
You know, you may not always get it right. You may
Mm.
not always feel like you're getting it right. But, you know, I just want to say you are getting it right. You know, you make sure you're involving them. And one thing I tell people when I talk about my grandchildren is that they don't miss no days of school. That
They bet they will be sick and they'll come home later. Like you want to? No.
yes, yes.
Well, you know
So
what they.
you know, and so
If you miss a day of school, it's
go
like
ahead.
missing. I don't play.
No, and you don't because and they're so smart. All of them are so smart, and they, you know, and like you said, you make sure you make sure you're doing what they need to be doing, but you don't play when it comes to their education, and that is so awesome because a lot of times we, as especially Black people or African American, however you want to call us, education doesn't seem to be as important to some people anymore.
Right.
You know, and like I'm at the high school and these kids is talking yo bro to the teachers, and I'm thinking,
Yeah. Ridiculous.
when is that acceptable, and when have we allowed our children to disrespect educators? Because
Yeah.
you know, my grandkids, your kids, they're not disrespectful,
Right.
and you don't see, and especially our young boys, we don't see that. You
Yeah.
know,
We actually had a problem like with Zamir because he was all he went to high school with a whole semester of high school out of the way already, so he was already labeled a 10th grader back in December, but like
right?
in his gifted classes, he was the only African American boy, and he's just like Mom, I don't fit here. I want to go to the regular classes. I'm like, Zamir, you cannot go to the regular classes because academically this is where you belong, whether they like you're like statistically you're not supposed to be smart. You're not supposed to be in these academic classes. I said, but
Exactly.
you'll be in these classes because you're not going to be in those statistics where you don't belong in these smart
Right.
classes. I said, you will graduate in the top of your class, whether you want it. Like he just feels like he doesn't fit in. But I'm like, Zamir, I'm
Do
sorry
you
that.
think it's because we're not supposed to be doing that and he doesn't see someone that looks like him?
Right. That's what it is because all of the cool kids are in the regular classes. All of the,
Right.
he's a football player, but he's the smart football player. He's in the gifted classes and, he is not, he's not looked, but even his teachers tell him, like, Zamir, you're not on these children's level. Like, but it was
No,
hard.
yeah, he is smart beyond his years.
It's
Like,
still hard. Like, we were just talking about it the other night, because like, I'm so, like, Zamir's about to be 15, and I never had a teenager before. So I'm just like, how do I, like, I get very emotional, because I'm like, how do I do this? Like,
right, right.
he's coming to me telling me stuff that I'm just like, what do I do? Like, what do I say? It's just weird. It blows me out of my mind that my 15,
Right.
like, he's telling me this already. And I'm nervous, because I just want to make sure I do the right thing. And
So do you talk to him by him being, because you got pregnant at 15?
oh,
So
absolutely.
there's I mean, and I'm not saying that he's going to do this, but in reality, he could be father at 15 as well. So how do you talk to him about, the precautions of being, a father at 15? Because you know what? People be like, oh, well, they're not going to do it. You don't know what they're going to do when they get away from you. Netta said, you keep doing what you're doing to keep it real with them. You're an amazing mom. Yes, yeah.
So I've always kept it real with my children. I've told them all my struggles. We talk, we get deep, and Zamir especially, because it's statistics show that children born to teen parents are 95% likely to be teen parents themselves. So I've always that. That's why I talk to him a lot about it, and he's in the stage where, he's doing that teenage stuff. Like, no, he's not experienced as far as sexually or anything like that, but he's wanting to talk about it. So, how, like, protection, how to put it on. Like, we talk a lot. Like, we're very open about sex and all that other stuff. And what he tells me is, oh, I want to wait until I'm 16. I'm like, why not 18? Like, why 18? Like, I'm like, but and like I told him, I'm never going to tell you not to do something. I'm just going to teach you how to do it. And you decide what you want to do, and I'm going to provide you with the resources and the facts behind it. So
exactly.
like condoms, we give them condoms. Anywhere you go, you need to have condoms with you. No, he's not at that level yet, but he's already talking about it. So I want to jump ahead and make sure he's
exactly.
And like
because
I told him,
like you said, it could be that one night that he see this girl, and it's not like you giving him a license to go do it, but you're making sure he's prepared, because he's 15. And then if he gets some other girl, if this girl is young, so now, like you said, the cycle is repeating itself, because it only takes one time. So you're saying you being proactive to make sure, hey, this is what I'm doing, but I'm not giving you a license to do it. But remember, whatever choice you make, good or bad, it's going to have a consequence.
Right. And the good thing about it, like, Zamir's very, very, he's into sports. So he knows like with Tony, like, we talked to him, like, Tony didn't get to go to college to play ball because he was a father, like, he knows, like, I'm not too worried about, like, him, like, here, because he don't really go out of my sight.
Right.
But I allow him. I did, like, last year we started letting him, go to the movies and stuff, like, slowly. He doesn't stay anywhere. He's never did, besides family. But because he goes away with his father, I had to start this sooner, I felt. But I know that we have a relationship where he'll come to me. So that's all I care. No, I'm not going to be the parent, like, pretty much both, like, Zamir's father, you guys were both, when you guys found out it was, we were sexually active, it was like, oh, stay away from her. That's just going to make them want that person more.
Exactly.
Another thing that I always said, that I'm going to make sure that I have a good relationship with both, no matter if I like it or not, because
exactly.
It's only going to make it hard for myself and my son if I try to get in the middle of it.
Exactly.
And
and I mean, and because you and I mean, because we are a prime example of that. When parents try to step in, it's like you think you're doing the right thing, but then it makes it worse. And then until we decided that we got tired of the back and forth, because it always just put the kid in the middle. And so when we decided that we just couldn't do it anymore, and even when we disagree now, we have really learned to disagree and still love each other.
Right. And
I so appreciate that, because I mean, and we're just being honest, open, and transparent, because me and you used to go at it. I mean, and that's just how it was. But as we got older, as we just start trying to see each other for who we really were, that's when we learned to say, you know what? She have her way, I have my way. But at the end of the day, the only people that's hurting is Tony, because he loves you, you his wife, and he loves me, and I'm his mother. You know, and to see where we're at today, I'm gonna say 3 years ago, we wouldn't have been here.
Right. And that's
We
why
wasn't here.
in the end, like it was sad because it was all I always saw Tony suffering, you know. Of
Yeah,
course you because
yeah,
you didn't, but I always knew, like that's why I kept trying. But that's just like an example, like even with my mother, you know, like when I was younger, you know, and I didn't understand. Now that I'm older and I understand that
right,
she did what she knew how to do. What, you know,
yeah,
she wasn't provided the support, like just like me. I didn't have support, neither did she, you know. But
right, right.
also had 7 kids. I only have 3, you know. So like the relationship that my mother and I have today is so much better than we had just a year ago, you know. So the
And
more I grow and get
that's,
older,
yeah, and that's
it's it,
awesome, because
it's so
even for you, you have truly, truly grown. You have grown. You have matured. And you know, and sometimes, you know, I know you get, when you get something and it don't go the way that you know think it should go. Sometimes you do get angry, but you don't go to the extreme how you used to, because
right.
you're looking at it in a different light.
Yeah, I definitely
You know what
calmed
I'm saying?
down a lot.
Yeah. So, but like, so now you have these 3 boys, and they are all the way live. So how does it feel being in a household with all boys? Because I was the same way. It was
Oh,
just me and JT and the boys, and it was like, this is not
crazy.
good.
I was just fussing at them the other day. You know, Zamir just came home and
Right,
I'm
right.
somewhere. I'm like, you guys are some dirty kids. Like, pick up after yourself. Like, and you know, we're in an apartment right now, so it's kind of hard.
Right.
But I'm like, I know I taught y'all, but you know, Zamir goes with his father, and then I think he has to be retrained or something because they must
Yeah.
not make him do. I don't know. Like, but I'm like, boy, I'm not gonna pick up after you. You're crazy. He's bigger than I am. I'm just like,
But so at this point, do you think motherhood changed you from the beginning?
oh,
Or,
absolutely.
um,
See, I honestly don't think I would be alive today if I didn't become a mother at an early age. That's how destructive like my path was, whether it was from depression, like,
mhm,
you know, I've had suicidal attempts and like at a young age. I
right.
just think I would either be dead or in jail if I didn't get
Wow.
pregnant. So
Well,
like
thank you guys for joining. Hey, Gina. Hey, Lee. I see a lot of our family on here.
like I
So
was like I was telling Zamir, like so many people tell him all the time, like you're so like, and it gets me because people that I'm surrounded by now have no clue who I was. So like to
right,
see like my friends back home, to see who I've become, I'm just like, they understand, like they know where I was, how dark it was.
right.
I tell Zamir all the time, like people tell you all the time, like you're so lucky to have me. I'm just like, it's actually the opposite. I'm lucky to have you. You know, like you
So
gave me light.
what you're saying, and you're not promoting. She's not promoting teen pregnancy. So
Absolutely.
let's just go and put that out there. She only thing she's saying right now is that for her, being pregnant at a young age saved her life. And so when, and it's amazing because
Hey Gina.
by him saving you, he really just made you rise to the occasion, because you said depression, suicidal thoughts. So was it the people that you hung around, or was it just because of the state that you were in and the environment that you were in?
I just think it was the childhood trauma that I and like went through that I never actually was able to grieve. Like I don't think I got the counseling that I needed when I was going through everything I went through. And I was just in a state that like I just didn't care. Like I just I just didn't care anymore. You know, I only had like I just didn't care, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And so when you had Zamir, it was something tangible. It was like,
It was the
he,
scariest. So
he is my savior. Yet it was scary, but he was your savior. He was your saving grace.
And he also taught me that love did exist. Like, I never felt loved. You know, I just knew that my son, like, I could love him and he was going to love me back. Like, I didn't care if nobody else in the world loved me or cared about me. I knew that I had somebody to love and would love me back. And that's all I ever wanted. So it was like, it was just what I needed. And nowhere, I've never thought about like like everybody said, oh, you need to get an abortion. I never, like with Zamir, like AJ, like I was telling you, the first thing I thought of was adoption. You know, I would never do abortion, but I thought adoption just because, you know, I was okay with that. But as far as like Zamir, 15, I never, like, I knew I needed him. Like, you know, I needed him.
Right. And he probably needed you too. And, you know, and this, you know, in his own roundabout way, God knew that this child was going to save you. Because you have purpose and you still have purpose to fulfill. And so he allowed you to birth him because he knew she got something that the world needs. So I have to give her something to save her. You know, and he has grown to be so handsome, so just so handsome. And it's amazing how I see him, and I remember when he was just 6 months old, you know, just crawling around, just, you know, and just me and him just had a bond, you know. And then my little AJ came along, and then AJ and I had a bond. And then Malachi, just seeing him and knowing that he loves me, even though he don't really know me like, you know, Zamir and AJ does, but I just have the most, I always tell people I have Georgia babies and California grandbabies. And I remember when JT died and we was all together, and, you know, my Georgia babies call me Mima, my California babies call me Gigi, and then they were like Mima, Gigi, and I was thinking in my head, I was like, why can't we just have one name for me, you know? You know, because you look at us like, oh yeah, they're my California grandbabies. But just seeing you with your children, and you make sure you keep them busy. You know, even when you come here, you're like, okay, we got to be busy. We got to be doing something. You know, we got to be doing something. And, you know, it's funny because I was like, when they come back, I was like, they're going to be like, Mima ain't got nothing in this house, no furniture. They're going to be like, where are we going to sit? But, I mean, just tell us about all three of them and their personalities, and tell us how each one of them, because you already told us how Zamir was your saving grace. So when AJ came along, what void or how did he play a part in how you was feeling, you know, in your growth as a mother?
So with AJ, it's kind of a lot different, just because I felt like he wasn't wanted from the jump. I already felt he wasn't wanted. I was already by myself, you know, like I had pretty much no family, like I was alone other than you guys. And so I already felt like he wasn't wanted. So, and I also knew that Tony wanted to go to school to play ball. So I was like, I'm not going to bring another child in this world that is not going to be wanted. I said, I'm not going to stop Tony from going to play ball. So I was like, the only option is adoption. So I got in touch with the adoption agency. I sat down, I was going through profiles, you know, to pick somebody. But once I told Tony I found somebody, he was like, absolutely not. Then I'm just like, okay, so I guess you're going to step up and be a daddy then, because I can't do this by myself again. So exactly. With AJ was really weird, but when he was born, I knew he was supposed to be with me. Like, as soon as we had a whole nother name for AJ, but when I saw him, I knew he had to be a junior. You know, like the relationship that me and Tony had was more like, we were friends before we started dating, you know? So I was like, being that he's here with me, even though I knew he wasn't wanted from pretty much anybody besides, you know, I was okay to be a mother because I knew, like, I already had one. But it was really weird, different with AJ, just because I felt like I think I went through postpartum depression really bad with AJ because I felt like he wasn't wanted. And I felt bad not knowing if he was ever going to be accepted. So with AJ was definitely different, but AJ was just the life of the party. That's all they ever called him. Like, AJ was the life of the party. He brought light you know, even though with Zamir, you know, I was still in a dark place. But like when AJ was born, I feel like he brought life back to me.
Right,
Um,
right.
and he's always been like that. Now Malachi, you know, my
And AJ, he has a lot of me and Tony's personalities. And you know, it was funny when I was doing the live with Mama, I never realized as a child that I really didn't like a whole lot of people. I didn't realize that. And Tony's the same way.
yeah,
AJ's the same way. When we
he's still,
used to, when we had him and y'all was overseas, he would only go to me, Mama, and Sheena
yeah, like he still
because
doesn't.
that. I mean, he knew everybody else because you know he was around them,
Right.
but we were his people.
Hmm.
You know, and even now, like you know, when we came home, you know, when JT died or whatever, he didn't care what was going on. He
No,
was just to himself. He was in here to himself.
AJ's
But
very
now,
quiet. Like
yes,
AJ's very quiet. He's definitely Tony. Like that's Tony all the way. Like, and
yeah,
that's why like
yeah,
when we left Texas, it really hurt us all because that's where AJ built a family of sports. Like he started playing football there, so that's all he played
right,
with. So it was hard on all of us. Like we cried, and AJ doesn't mess with nobody. But there, like he had such a strong family team with the football that everybody cried when we left. Like it was so hard.
wow,
And getting here and putting him in football, we only did a season because it didn't feel like home. AJ did not connect, and we were like, if he doesn't connect, we're not going to connect because
yeah,
AJ.
yeah,
So AJ's still like that. Just like I was telling Gina, like AJ, he just clicked her. So I don't know how, well, like what they were talking about. I don't know what happened, but he still talks about Gina. And then when he saw her on the live the other day, he was like, "Oh, mom,
yeah,
that's Gina." Like gets excited and stuff like that. And I
yeah,
was,
yeah.
I was like, wonder what Gina was talking to him about because AJ don't mess with people. So
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
it was JT's funeral when he was with Gina. That all he talked about. Are we gonna see Gina? Like all this stuff, and I'm just like, interesting. So I don't know, but AJ, he's still like that. He don't mess with people. He doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Now Malachi. So that was another rough time in my life. So my husband and I, like you know, we went through a rough patch.
Right, right,
We were actually getting ready to file for divorce before
right,
I found out I was pregnant with Malachi.
right,
So like that, and that lasted for at least a year, and then we we decided we were going to start working things out, and right away we found out we were pregnant. So in my mind, I'm just like, there's no way I'm bringing another kid into this marriage, you know. And I don't think I ever thought of anything else besides I'm going to have another child with the man that I'm about to divorce. But
right.
for some reason, I just kept going, kept trying with my marriage, and it didn't start getting better until after we had Malachi. You know,
Wow.
like my Malachi probably was, and it's crazy because this was the first child that we had not out of wedlock. We were
Right,
married. We've been married for a
right,
long time.
right,
So like
right,
in my mind, I'm thinking like this is how it's supposed to be. Like
right,
we have to
right.
get this together. So after Malachi was born, things went back together. So I believe Malachi was another baby that brought me out. Like he brought the life back to the whole family. Like we were all
Wow.
in a dark place. You know, like Malachi, I feel like that's why, like, and me and Mal, we have such a weird bond that it's like Malachi doesn't want to be anywhere without me. But like,
Right,
I don't know, but like, even like my marriage got so much better after Malachi. Like,
right.
he was our
Because
sunshine.
it's his spirit. He has a, you know, and we're not saying that Zamir and AJ doesn't,
Right.
but Malachi truly has a different spirit about him.
Does. They're
And
all,
anybody that meets him, that see him, like when he comes here, you know, it's something about him. It's
mhm.
something about his spirit, and he just so you just want to just hug him. You know,
Yeah,
you
like,
just want to just hug him. But he is like, okay, uh-huh. But it's truly his spirit. And
right.
then I think it's that
All,
hair, that color hair, it gets people
all,
because they're like,
so all
why?
three of the kids,
Yeah,
all three of the kids they're totally on different levels, and they're totally
yes,
like, I thought AJ was wild, but Malachi's 10 times worse. He's so mean. Like he should have been the girl. He should have
He
been the
should have.
girl.
He really
And
should have been the girl, for real.
he is, and like
That's
Malachi.
your twin. That's your boy twin.
And it's like, you know how they say, like, when you have the first one, you're like extra, like you can't do this, you can't do that. Like
Right.
Zamir didn't have candy. He didn't have, like, none of that. He doesn't even have cavities still to this day. Malachi, he had 4 the first, like, after once. Like, I just was less, you know, what did they do? Like that Love's commercial? Once you have one,
Yeah.
like, I just, like, was not as strict anymore. Malachi just gets away with murder anymore. He looks like Malachi just does. He's just so
Tony
cute.
said he looks like Franny, but that boy is me.
He is, and it's crazy because I'm so blessed. All of my kids are so academically gifted and then athletically talented. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I don't understand how I got so blessed to have kids that are, to me, perfect. You know, like, of course they're crazy, but like academically and like physically, I'm like, I don't know. One of them's gonna
It means, you
go
know,
far.
I told you, God has his own plans, you know. He
Okay.
has his own plans.
And
So
you know what Tony says? Tony always tells them, like, I wasn't able to go to school to play sports because I chose to be a father. One of you guys have to do what I wanted to do and make me proud. So he says, like, I need one of you guys to do what I want to do so that I could feel like I did something right.
exactly.
And I'm telling you, those 2 little ones, they
He
are.
said, "Now that
like,
brain ain't me, but the athletic is my Jane."
yeah, I'm telling you, they are good in everything. Everything.
They,
Like,
but y'all have a good combination. You know, y'all just, you know, you just have a good combination. And
Tony's so athletic.
so, before we leave, I have another question.
But it's just crazy. Like, you know, AJ just started playing soccer. This is like his second season. He played with the school and then now the league. This kid, they already want him to go to a select team. I'm just like, how is he good at everything he does?
Because when it's in you, it's in you. It's when you do it, you just do it. You know. But so how do you teach them, you know, as a mom, to have good sportsmanship when they're playing sports? You know, because sometimes kids can feel like, well, dang, they don't know what they're doing. So how do you keep them balanced to let them know that, hey, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but how do you keep their attitudes to say, you know what, you have to be a good sports? Because I know with Tony, he used to get so mad when he used to, you know, he couldn't win or whatever. And I used to tell him, if you don't want to play, we can just take you off because you're not going to always win. So you have to be able to say, you know what, as long as I try my best, I'm good. What he say?
Okay, so with Tony, he just walked up.
He said sportsmanship. What's that? Everybody, that's my son Antonio. He asking what sportsmanship is. We're trying to tell him now.
So he just walked off. It's hard. It's really hard, honestly, in my household. It's hard to let somebody know it's okay to lose because their father says it's not. So
right.
He just walked up the court with grown men the other day. He was mad because he lost.
Because he lost. Yeah.
It's really hard. Like, my household is very competitive, especially like with Tone. Like, you can, like, losing it to him is not okay. To me, I'm all about, as long as you learn. If you lost, as long as you learn, like, as long as you understand why you lost and do better the next time. But as far as Tony, you can't lose.
And so which one out of the 3, which one have the worst attitude about losing?
Probably AJ. See, now Malachi thinks he's just the best, that he's never going to lose. That's his problem. But when he loses, he doesn't get mad. AJ is like Tony, and he'll cry. So, like, yeah, AJ doesn't like to lose. Like, matter of fact, he was doing cross country for the first time, and like he did amazing. Like, he's only in 6th grade, and he was going with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and he's always like the top 10. But he just gets so mad. I'm like, AJ, it's okay. And the one time he was like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna. But he just AJ. He's gonna make us all. He's gonna make us billionaires one day, hopefully.
So let me ask you this: what is your I know, Mother's Day is coming up tomorrow, and for me, sometimes I get sad. I ain't gonna say sad, but for the most part, I'm sad because like those holidays, I don't get to spend, with my children.
Uh-huh.
But it's so rewarding when you can wake up and have Mother's Day with your children. And just like I still have stuff that, Sean and Tony made me for Mother's Day when they were like in kindergarten. And when I should try to show them things, and they'd be like, oh, you so lame, because I keep these things. And, and I always told them, when you have kids, you keep this stuff because this is part of who you were.
Yeah.
So do you keep all their stuff from like kindergarten, preschool, just in a folder?
So they each have a binder, and I don't keep everything anymore because it's just too much. So I'll pick and choose.
Yes.
What, like now Malachi, he's only in first grade, so his binder's very small. So he has, like, I used to keep everything but I'm like, this is just too much. So now I just do, it's like a string binder, and I pick and choose what I want to keep. Now, as far as like Mother's Day, I feel like Zamir, he wasn't even supposed to come home this early because but football started for the new school, so he did. So I'm like, I'm actually happy because now I have all you guys together,
Yes,
but
yes.
to me, I feel like Mother's Day is every day to me.
Yes.
Like, I have such a good relationship with all my, like, different relationships, but with all my kids, that every day feels like Mother's Day. So
Yes.
I don't really feel like Mother's Day is a special day because I'm a mom 24/7, every day.
Yeah.
But I am just glad that they're all here with me, and we're gonna go to Jacksonville and have a day. But I do understand what you're saying, and that's what I tell Zamir. Like, Zamir, you only have 3 years left with me. I have to cherish, and that's why, like, Tony's like, they hate it. The guys hate taking pictures. Anywhere we go, I take pictures, and they hate it. Especially Zamir.
Right.
Oh, that's lame. Why are you taking pictures? I'm like, Zamir, if you don't take a picture, then it happened. Like, I need it to show your kids later in life. Like, these are the moments I'm going to cherish when you're not here with me anymore. And that's what he said. What, are you going to watch it when I'm gone and cry? I'm like, yep, probably.
And that's why, like when I go through pictures back here, like I send you pictures like of Tony, when they were little and stuff, because like you said, they get grown and they leave, they get grown and they leave. But
I'm not ready.
The last question I want you to address is, like we already said before, her being a mother at a young age, that saved her life. We're not saying, hey, you go out here and just do it. This is her story,
right?
If you will. So this is her story. So don't be saying that we saying, oh, well, we're promoting teen pregnancy. That's not what we're saying. We're saying for her teen pregnancy saved her life. So what would you say to a teenage girl who was contemplating becoming a teen mom? What advice would you give them?
So, like, before she got pregnant or after?
Yes, before she got married. Because you know how some of these girls do this pregnancy pack or whatever the case may be. But by you being a teen mom, what advice would you give girls that's thinking, oh, I just want to be a mom. I just want to be a mom. What advice would you give them?
So although motherhood is the greatest title of all, I would not ever encourage any woman, like young teenager, to become a mother at such a young age. First of all, my whole path changed. Like, although I was down to, like, I just wanted to go to school. That's what I wanted. I have a master's degree. I never step foot in a dorm room to live. I don't know what that college life is like. I lost out on so much. Like, I had to grow up so fast that I don't even know what being a teenager was like. And like, now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like backtracking. Like, I'm like, I started going out, I started drinking, like at like a young old age. Like, I never experienced teenage life. And to be honest with you, it caused problems. Like, not only in my with myself, but even my marriage. Like, I started backtracking. Like, this is stuff I should have been doing when I was 15.
Right,
and
right.
Now because I never got to. So like with my husband, he didn't realize it because he was partying when he was younger too, and like in the military.
Right.
But me, I finally graduated and everything, and now I'm just like, oh wow, I get to go out and drink. Like, I don't even know what this life is like, and I liked it. I'm doing it more and more. So as a teenager, I would say enjoy your teen years and wait to be a parent later. Like, make sure you reach all your goals as a teenager before you try to do this motherhood. Because first of all, paying bills is no joke. being responsible for another, like, I always put my kids first, so it was never about me anymore. I forgot, honestly, that's probably why I still, like, even now I still suffer with, you know, some trauma, because I never got to take care of myself because I was taking care of my kids, you know. And
Right.
most importantly, if you're not good yourself, then you definitely can't do nothing for the world or yourself or your children. So I mean, I just feel like
Yeah.
take
Your
care.
husband's crazy. He said she's killing us with them damn pictures.
Yeah, take care of yourself and reach your goals. Especially, most importantly, finish school. Which, I mean, of course, I'm not. I'm one of, like, I'm not, one thing I said, that I wasn't going to be a statistic. So I'm not in the statistics. Like, yes, my teen pregnancy journey was totally different than most. I'm not,
Right.
this was never supposed to happen to me. I was never supposed to even graduate high school. Like, it's like 98%
Right.
of teen mothers don't graduate high school. Yes, I did. And I went to college too, but 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen to the next, you know, like,
Right. Right.
it,
So
it,
where are the boys now?
Zamir, we had soccer all day today, so we just got back around 4 o'clock. Malachi outside playing, and AJ and Zamir is on a video game.
Well, I want them to be able to see them. That's why, we're talking about mothers. So I
Okay.
want, them to see. Tony, since you're on here, you typing. Can you go gather your children up? How about
Tell tell AJ and Malachi to come in here.
But I am so, because because you guys know I was thinking about doing hot topics, and I always want to, you know, bring people on here that can bless people. And I said, well, my daughter-in-law, what perfect person. And then I'm gonna do Gina, as well, being a single mom. But because people think being a single mom is just like, you know they don't know the ins and outs, because like right now people can say, oh well, she got it together, but like you said, you didn't always have it together.
Right.
When you got pregnant with him, he was a saving grace for you. I mean, and so everything that you have accomplished is because you had these children and you knew that you wanted them to have a different life.
So Tony said him and Zamir's not here. I think they went to Walmart to do something for Mother's Day. But AJ's about to get Malachi.
Okay. Oh, okay. But
So
I'm so thankful. Huh?
Tony took Zamir to Walmart because he didn't get to take him because he had practice to get something for Mother's Day. But Malachi and AJ's.
Okay. But I just want to say I love you. Truly, truly love you. And I am so glad and so blessed that you and I are at a different place in our life. And I'm glad that we can laugh and have fun. You has truly been my saving grace with my crazy son, with me, with this dating thing, and when, they just think that I shouldn't date, and you say, well, I'm not, but I guess it's a big transition, but I thank God for you just reminding them that she's going to date sometime. She's going to, want to have a friend, not saying that she's trying to get married or whatever, but you keep reminding him that, what, she's just trying to live her life. And, and I'm just so thankful, for when you put up with my crazy son. And I love you for that, because I know he's a handful. Hey, baby, that's my AJ. How are you?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
She said, how are you?
Oh, you're, hold on. My son said, you date when they tell me I can date.
You're lying.
AJ, how are you?
Good.
This is my grandson, AJ. You're on Facebook Live, so everybody's going to see your handsome face. Are you ready for Mother's Day?
Yes.
You look so little. Where's Malachi?
Hey,
One.
He's still outside. He probably didn't.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's coming. Go yell for him. He's coming. But
yeah, he like a little. He really looks little, sitting there. But
yeah,
but you're doing an amazing job. I know you're stressed because we talk about it, but just keep doing it. Keep the faith. Don't give up, because you know what? Like you said, after a while they're gonna be gone.
Yeah, AJ doesn't. He don't like to be called little.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. He left. Come here, Mal. But yes, I'm so thankful for our relationship too. It's grown. I mean, I think I learned as I got older, that. Come on. Say hi. He just was outside running, so. You're
Hey, Malachi.
Say hi. Look, everybody's on. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Hi. What was you doing outside?
No, you can't have
What
that.
was you doing outside?
Everybody wants to get to know you. Look. Stop talking like that. Here.
Malachi,
What were you doing outside?
your bike is getting your bike gonna be rusted by the time you come back.
It's getting old.
It is getting old.
He's so
So
hot.
what you want me to do with it? Keep it till you come back?
I want to keep it still.
Okay. So when you come to stay with Mima?
I don't know. Whenever my mom says.
Okay.
Oh, baby.
What if I let her keep it and then you can buy me another one?
That's fine. Okay,
Well,
so listen.
You trying to get another bike?
Yeah. Yeah, he wants another bike, but he's been outside playing with his friends. He has it. Tell him about your bike group.
What do you mean?
Tell him he started a bike group yesterday.
Bike squad.
Oh, really? So tell me about it. Tell the viewers about it.
I don't really know how to explain it.
Tell him. Come on. Here, take this off.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you know how to explain it.
Tell him. What do you guys do? Who's the leader?
Me.
You are? Oh, yeah? He's
So
a
how you lead them? What you have them doing, Malachi?
Grace.
Oh, so you're gonna show us when you come to North Carolina?
We need to fix our engines.
What you say?
We got to the garage and we need to fix our engines.
Oh, wow.
Tell me how many points you scored today.
I don't know total.
I think like 4.
Not 4 total in all those games.
You think more?
Way more than
Yeah,
that.
probably more. I lost count. He plays with 10-year-olds.
That's awesome, Malachi.
Great.
Hopefully, Mima get to watch you. Hopefully, Mima get to come down and watch you play.
Go back outside.
Yeah, he doesn't stay put.
Oh, okay. Well, I love you.
I love going outside. He does. He had 4 games this morning. Then that kid, and he'll come home and go right outside and play until I tell him to come in. He's like,
well, I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day. And again, thank you for being an awesome, amazing mother to my grandbabies. And I just love you. What did Tony say? Season over now, Mom. Really, Tony? It's another season coming.
Oh, she's talking about with soccer. They finished today their season. But
okay.
And I hope you have a good Mother's Day. Although you don't have babies anymore, so it's probably like not as fun, but.
No, but it's kind of it's kind of bittersweet. Andy's here, so we're going out tomorrow. Me, him, and Mom and Sheena. So yeah. So Tony, since you're on here, I'll just keep taking pictures. You know.
Thank you for having me, and I mean, I'm here. So.
I know, and you just keep studying, keep staying focused.
So I'm always open to talk, you know.
Oh yeah, we'll yeah, Tony, I'm gonna keep taking pictures. But I just want to say thank you and I love you. And I'll call y'all tomorrow. And so you have a good Mother's Day. Tell them to go somewhere and let you just have the whole house to yourself.
Supposed to be going to Jacksonville, so.
Oh, Florida or y'all going to Florida?
Yeah, we're gonna go to Top Golf and then we're gonna have lunch and then probably just go to the mall. Just, you know, something small. I just wanted to get out of here. That's it. Because, you know, this little apartment we're here and it gets me frustrated because, you know, we're all.
Well, we'll get together and plan our trip because school is getting ready to be out and I'm gonna be in need for a trip. So.
Wait, yes, for sure. But thank you guys.
So I love you.
Love you too. I said I love you.
All right. Well, like I said, I will talk to y'all tomorrow.
Okay, hon.
All right.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. I don't even know how to end this.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed Hot Topics with Donna with my daughter-in-law, Franny. It was amazing. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing my grandsons AJ and Malachi. My oldest grandson Zamir was out with my son. But thank you for tuning in today. I know today is Friday with Hot Topics with Donna, and like I said, there's no, I don't want you to think that we're promoting teen pregnancy. Her story is just her story. And as she stated before, having a child at a young age saved her life from a life of destruction. So, and like she said, she's not by any means telling you to go out and be a young teen mom. That is her story and her story only. So don't just say that, oh, we're promoting teen pregnancy, because we're not. We're just saying this is her story. And that's why I had her on here, because sometimes when we get in a situation, we don't never know what happens. But for her, she was already on a road of destruction and a whole bunch of other stuff. So when she became a teen mother, that actually saved her life. And so if you missed a lot, you can go back and to the replay. But I just want to thank you guys for joining Hot Topics with Donna Mother's Day special. I don't know if I'm going to be on tomorrow. I might give you a glimpse of my Mother's Day outing with my mom and my sister and my brother and I. So for all you mothers out there, thank you guys for doing a great job. And as Franny stated, she's a mother every day. We are a mother 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't matter if our kids are 6 months old or 60 years old. We will always be mothers until God calls us home. So if your mother's still here, love on her. If there's someone that played a part in your life that took the place of a mother, whether it was an aunt, a best friend, or your godparents, your godmom, just love on them. Tell them that you appreciate them, because life is too short. I love you too, Franny. Life is too short. So love on your mothers, love on whoever stepped in and played the role as a mother, because like I said, we are mothers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful Mother's Day, and just enjoy yourself, enjoy your mother, and just be safe with whatever you're doing. Only because they're lifting the ban with COVID, just still be safe and have a wonderful, wonderful night, and have a happy Mother's Day. Good night.